First question is, how long does it take to figure out if someone's actually going to make it in a role? How long does it usually take? What?
A couple of days.
A couple of days?
Half an hour, maybe a month. 30 days.
Okay, most typically I get anywhere from 30 days to 6 months, depending on the level of work in the role. My objective is to shorten that down. And John, you said a half hour?
I was talking about the interview.
I want to shorten that down so that you have a high level of confidence on their first day at work that they are going to make it. That's my objective. Waiting for a month to find out if they're going to do okay or waiting for 6 months is wasted time. My objective is to get it down to where on their first day you have a high level of confidence that they're going to be effective in the role. There are a number of things that we do poorly in the interview process that we can easily improve upon. I want to start by looking at interview mistakes. And again, we should be working on page 9. I picked out 3, but after we've covered these 3, if you want to look at any of the others that are on that list, we can spend the time doing that. So my question is, why does the interviewer miss important information during the course of the interview? Why does the interviewer miss important information? What do you think?
Doesn't ask the right questions.
We don't ask the right questions. Why don't we ask the right questions?
We don't take the time to prepare.
We don't take the time to prepare. You must have read the book.
I get your emails.
Perfect.
Have blinders on too when you certain.
Right. And we don't find out that important information from the candidate because the candidate, if you ask the right questions, the candidate will tell you all of the data that you need to make an effective hiring decision. But we miss important information because we don't ask the right questions. We don't ask the right questions because we don't engage in preparation. In fact, the candidate coming into the room has very often done way more preparation for the interview than we've done. And that's why they end up beating us in the paint every time. Why do interviewers misinterpret responses? Why does the candidate say something and we misinterpret their response?
We hear what we want.
We do hear what we want to hear, so we have selective hearing. Why else?
We haven't asked the right questions.
Right.
Or we don't be most specific.
Most specific. We misinterpret responses because we ask the wrong questions. We ask the wrong questions because we ask questions that require interpretation. When you leave this room today, my objective is that you will never ask a question that requires interpretation. That's why we misinterpret responses. We ask questions that require interpretation. Don't do it. Loses control. Why does the interviewer lose control during the course of the interview? You know, we got 2 people in the interview. One of them's talking, the other one's asking the questions. Who's in control of the interview? The person who's doing all of the talking or the person who is asking questions?
Asking questions.
The person who is asking questions is controlling the interview. The course of that interview, the path of that interview, will be controlled by the person who's asking the questions. How do I know, if I'm sitting in an interview, how do I know the precise moment that the interviewer loses control? They start talking. They start talking, I know they've immediately lost control. Now the good news is they can immediately regain control of the interview by doing what? Asking a question. Now, here are some of the things that I hear when interviewers lose control. Let me tell you about our company. It's a wonderful place to work. Would you like to take a tour? I'll introduce you around. I know that the interviewer has completely lost control of that interview. What's the purpose of the interview? It's to find out stuff about the candidate. We need data points about the candidate. Whenever I start talking, I'm not finding out anything about the candidate. That's not the purpose of the interview. Now, at some point in the protocol, is there a time to sell the company? Yes, but it's not to every candidate that walks through the door. It's only those that I have a high interest in really into the company.